What it is, YouTube? It's your boy Nixie coming back with another bullseye of a tutorial here today on the channel. Okay, so I'm really excited today. I'm gonna be bringing us the XavierSoBased vocal preset. So this is really dope. You know, artists like XavierSoBased and also the subgenre which is called jerk music, apparently. So this is really dope. You know, I think you know, if you guys do like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more jerk artists, you know, this is gonna be y'all chance. You feel me? Show support to this video. Snap on this video so I can do another jerk artist, and y'all could you know, suggest it down below. So let's go and show you guys how to mix and master jerk vocals. So let's go. And the song is XavierSoBased Special.
Me and Manny see we out of Cali. From the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. Yeah, these niggas, they can't stare at me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying like oh. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like oh. Yeah, these niggas, they can't stare. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like oh.
Okay, so that's what we got here today. So, you know, jerk music, it kind of caught me off guard a little bit, right? When I first heard it, it reminded me of like the primitive SoundCloud wave with IZOTOPE, you feel me? And also Funny, like the primitive version of Funny, like Thousand Band Funny. He used to rap over beats like this too. I think he's got also a song of Funny called Lingo with Uno the Activist, bruh. And like this is kind of like that same style of like synth, but I kind of like this type of jerk music too because it's a little bit more bouncy. It has like that double snare type of rhythm. So yeah, you know, let's see what it sounds like with and without the preset.
I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh. Hit it. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like oh.
All right, so yeah, that's what it sounds like with and without the preset. Huge difference. So yeah, most importantly, you know, when I was looking up XavierSoBased vocal presets on YouTube, I just started feeling bad, bro. I just started feeling bad for my young niggas, bro, because I'm like, damn, that's all y'all got to learn from? Oh my God, that shit was making me crack the fuck up, bro. So I had to do a vocal preset, actually explain like, you know, his voice and everything. So I feel like in general, even like with a throwback, you know, XavierSoBased says he's influenced by like throwback SoundCloud wave, you feel me? That's what I grew up on type shit. So, you know, they have like a very lethargic type of tone. Like when I think about that old, you know, primitive, you know, Funny, you feel me? When he was rapping over those like synth pad type of, you know, beats, you know, and everything like that. So, yeah, that's what really started to make me like XavierSoBased because he reminds me of old SoundCloud. So I use the API 2500 on his vocal, and I'm in with this vocal preset. It's all about trying to get it to like digitally kind of distort. I noticed that with people like in that new jerk wave, they have a crunch, a certain fried crispy chicken KFC 5-piece combo with the French fries type of crispiness to their vocal, a little bit of crunchiness. So I'm going with mostly digital plugins. I'm running with the API 2500, especially because his vocal lacks presence. I'm going with the API 2500 because I know this has a way of giving vocals a certain punch to it, a certain dynamic type of thing to it. So I'm using the medium knee. You know, you get to pick a couple of different knees, not the ones on your legs, but the knees for the compressor. So that's like the transition, you feel me? And also using the new forward mode, the way it does like the routing of the compressor, it just kind of makes it a little bit more responsive. And with jerk music, the beat is quick. So usually like the flow is a little bit quicker and groovy. So that's why I picked that.
I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down. Me and Manny see we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta.
So mostly what it's just really doing to the vocal is just kind of giving it like a presence. You feel me? It's really giving a presence, a really like kind of like a density area, especially in the upper mid range. So for somebody like Xavier, you know, so based he's like a younger guy, so obviously his voice is kind of like is just lacking a little bit of that chest. You feel me? That's gonna help it stand in front of the beat. So I'm picking that compressor on purpose, knowing it gives presence, right, in that area. So after that, I use the REQ, and mostly with jerk music, I noticed with like XavierSoBased, and also there's another artist, his name is like Beretta, I think, too. He made that Doji Fever. I'm not necessarily sure, but I like that song too, though. You feel me? Um, that song, I noticed that they have like this crazy ass scoop mids in their vocal, bro. Like all their vocals is just this crazy, brittle, like scooped ass mids. You feel me? So that's why I did this EQ move right here. And to make the vocals not feel frail, I extended the low end on the EQ move. You feel me? So you can scoop out your mids to get that like that grocery bag type of feeling, that brittle Publix grocery bag type of feeling, that Walmart plastic bag type of feeling in the low mid. But then like my low cut, I extended it with the Q, so I'm letting more of the super lows come in. You feel me?
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you talk that, I will pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty put it like oh.
Yeah, so there's kind of like a Haagen-Dazs, a spoonful getting scooped out of that low mid. So that is a certain sound to certain vocals. Me personally, I kind of like to have full low mids, but if you do want to ever recreate something like that, make sure you compensate for it somewhere else. Like if you're gonna scoop out all of your low end, like your low mid, make sure maybe you let a little bit more low end come back so the vocals don't feel frail, so the vocals don't feel like they're on a diet trying to lose 50 pounds on Weight Watchers type shit. You feel me? Make sure you try to get the body somewhere else, or maybe you try to use like a saturation plugin after the fact with a tube or a transformer in it to add a little bit of that meat back onto the barbecue rib bone. You feel me? So de-esser, we already know what that does. That's just kind of controlling any harsh words.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. From the rap game, I think they tryna ban me.
And I make sure that de-esser doesn't ever go past 3 or 6. And at that point, because the low mids was already so scooped out on the actual EQ move, on my C4, right, I only just tickled the low mid a little bit. It's mostly to just get the high mid and the high end to start to flare up. So I'm using that multiband compressor on a jerk vocal because I want the bounce, you feel me? Because the snare and the music is kind of bouncing. So I want my vocal to bounce with the music, right? So that's why I picked the C4 pop vocal preset. And mostly, I pulled the threshold up. I'm not trying to carve out more low mid. I'm trying to let the top end get on that trampoline, get on that pogo stick and bounce up and down that high end specifically.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you talk that, I will pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty put it like oh. Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. Yeah, these niggas, they can't stand me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it, I will pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh.
All right, yeah. So that's the most important thing about with jerk vocals is also making the vocals bounce. So it depends on how you want to do it. You feel me? Maybe you might want to use an exciter. You feel me? Like OZONE exciter in the top end of the vocal to add a little saturation, or do something that can add a little bit of movement to the vocal. Apply a little bit of Vaseline, a little bit of grease that lets the vocal, slide and glide through the beat. You don't want the beat to be like, you don't want the vocal to be like some oatmeal that's like hard as fuck, or some food that's really hard to chew in your mouth. You want it to be smooth. You feel me? So that's also about the dynamics. You feel me? How you getting the vocal to move back and forth type shit. All right, then we have the REQ, and at that point, I'm just tonally balancing it. And even sometimes using something like a high shelf is also a great way to make the vocal bounce around. And you need that for that jerk music, bro. Your vocals need to bounce a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, because that snare is bouncing, that double snare is bouncing, the hi-hat pattern is the whole song is just bouncing. So if the music is bouncing, it's kind of emotionally telling your ass to move and dance to it. That's why it's called jerk music. Like back in the days, there was a song called "You a Jerk, Jerk." So I don't know if that's based off of that, and it's supposed to be dancing music, but I know that a lot of people dance to jerk music on TikTok and all that type of shit. So a high shelf is a great way to extend that upper end, right? So the character of the words is usually up there. You feel me? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6K. So if you do a high shelf, that also provides a little bit of movement too, a little bit of the transitions in between the words as well, a little bit more bounce.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you talk that, I will pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying in it like oh.
And also doing that high shelf to like cutting off that top end. It's like a situation where, because we're focusing, the high end, now you hear the transitions in between the words better, so that kind of makes you want to bounce a little bit. Then we're using the fresh air as well. We're using the high mid presence as well as the high air. And notice here, I'm mostly using like digital plugins, bro, because that's just the tone that jerk music has. So there's a difference between adding analog model plugins and boosting and adding digital plugins to boost. So I'm doing a little bit with the digital plugins because they're way they're not as forgiving as an analog plugin. You feel me? So I want the vocals to be somewhat bright. I want them to mostly be modern. So I'm avoiding those analog model plugins that will smooth off my top end. You feel me? I don't want that smooth top end. I want that modern top end. You feel me? That heat type of Ken Carson type of top end, that trashy type of top end, that waste management type of top end, that recycling bin type of top end. You feel me? That trash bag type of top end. You feel me? That garbage bag type of top end. You feel me? So that's a texture. That's not necessarily a sound. That's a feeling. When you touch a trash bag, it crumples up in a certain type of way. When you touch a bag like this, like a nylon bag, like it's smooth. You feel me? This is kind of like analog smoothness, and the other one is digital smoothness. All right. So that's the most important thing, is bringing out a little bit of that presence with that mid air and that high air, you know?
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me.
Yeah, these niggas, they can't stand me.
I'm too special, I'm too special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying it like low. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like low.
And most importantly, like that going between this move and the fresh air, it's kind of like we're shifting the mid-range upwards, because when you do this, it literally is high mid presence. It starts pushing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K or whatever. But it's like a situation where you got some candy, but you're trying to transfer the candy to another jar. So the candy that was in the low mid, now we taking that candy and we putting it in another jar that's a little bit higher up in the closet. You feel me? So we're taking the low mid presence and bringing it upwards, type shit like that, right? And we're bringing it upwards back through saturation. You feel me? So after that, we have the de-esser. We know what that does, and we have wave soak vocal. That shit is very important for a vocal like this, because it starts to poke a little bit of holes inside of the vocal. You know, it's like a situation where it's making the vocal feel a little bit more incomplete. It kind of like distorting it in a certain weird way. But I like it a lot, and you pay attention. I don't have it on high shelf. I have it on the peaks. So I'm purposely poking the holes inside of the vocal to give it a certain a feeling. You know, right? So that's what this is mostly doing. That silk vocal.
Me and Manny C, we out in Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying it like low. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like low.
Yeah, so that's the most important thing with a guy like XavierSoBased, is making sure that his vocal has like a character to it, because his delivery is already kind of like lacking energy a little bit, and like, you know, so you know, that type of stuff is very important. Bringing in that distortion is like bringing a little bit of Tabasco's hot sauce. Oof, you know, it kind of just adds a, you know, maybe you might have a bland ass chicken, you feel me, that only got a little bit of seasoning on it. Now you want to add a little flavor, so you put a little hot sauce, but now we're using the silk vocal to generate the distortion on the vocal, which is like our hot sauce, adding flavor to, you know, a jerk type of vocal. You feel me? So we have the Manny Marquin delay, and I just did like a phaser type of affected delay, especially because the vocal, it just kind of like, it's really like chill and down tempo. So I want to add some energy through my effects processing.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me.
So in general, you know, putting that phaser on it adds a little bit more grease. You feel me? Adds a little bit more of Johnson & Johnson to the vocal. That's what we're doing. We trying to add a little bit of Johnson & Johnson and slick up the vocal. You feel me, my nigga? Okay, so after that, we have the reverb, Manny reverb, and I'm using a large space, and this kind of makes the vocals feel ethereal. It reminds me of a situation where it's like, you know, his vocals are starting to feel a little bit more larger than life, you feel me, type shit like that. He says, I'm special. And when you're special, that means that you got a spotlight on you, type shit like that. Oh, I'm so fucking special. So that's why I use the fucking reverb that could emotionally convey that, oh, he's in his big space and he's special. I'm so special.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying it like low. Hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like low.
Gang,
And also, if I was mixing this song, I would be very precautious about the beat, because the beat kind of has like this the tremolator type of shit, and it's mostly like minor melodies too, which are kind of like they feel like it's more RMS, kind of like sustaining, you feel me, type shit. Like it's like imagine like you're at the beach and the water is just kind of like low tide and it's slowly rocking. So like during low tide, the water builds up, in a certain type of way. So I would say definitely if I was mixing this song, I would be very precautious on those jerk beats and listen to the reverb in the music. Because if the beat already got a lot of reverb and then you put reverb on the vocal, it's gonna kind of like be like putting more water in a bucket. It's just gonna wash out type shit. So we have a doubler stomp right here, and we're just kind of like isolating the mid range mostly. API 2500 again, and I use the lead vocal preset. And yeah, it's just giving a little bit more punch to the vocal with a Waves MV2, bringing up some low level detail.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you talk that, I will pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I fly it, and like, oh, hit it for the back and
All right, really dope, really dope. All right, so then let's go ahead and play our ad-libs real quick, really dope.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you talk that, I will pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I fly it, and like, oh, hit it for the back and I told Shawty, put her like, oh.
Gang.
All right, so let's go over those ad-libs real fast. So most importantly, I did not really roll off the top end. I wanted my top end to be dynamic. Also wanted them to be a little bit intelligible. I kind of want you to hear it say gang, 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 you feel me, in the background. So I did this little a bell push move, right? Rolled off the low end. And when I'm rolling off that low end, I'm thinking about the distance, right? How far back do I want the ad-libs to be from the lead vocal? All right, after that, I got the API 2500, and I use the internal sidechain on the thrust. So that is taking the ad-libs and it's pushing that bitch into the, you feel me, into the compressor. So that's making the vocals react a different way, you feel me? So it's like a situation where I'm slapping them ad-libs upside the head, and if somebody had a smile on their face and you slapped them, they would give you a completely different reaction, you feel me, to where if you smile back at them type shit like that. So think about the music being in a situation where you, depending on how you hit your plugins, you're gonna get a different reaction out of them, right? And that's specifically with analog modeled plugins, all right? And then we use the old mode right here, which is going to be a little bit slower, less responsive. So we're using the silk vocal, and the silk vocal is what's keeping our high end under control.
Me and Manny C, we out of Cali. For the rap game, I think they tryna ban me. I'm so special, I'm so special. If you turn it up, we'll pull up with Beretta. Drip down, bitch, I'm flying it, and like, oh, hit it from the back and I told Shawty, put her like, oh.
All right, we nailed those ad-libs, and then we just use the doubler stomp to just give some dimension to the ad-libs and let that go into a small haul, right? So that's pretty much the end of the video that we got here today, how to mix and master jerk beats. So this is the trial run. Let's see, you feel me? I done already laid down the card. I want to see if y'all support these type of, jerk artists for real or whatever. Regardless, I still fuck with XavierBased. I like this song a lot, and that's why I did the preset. You feel me? So I just want to say thanks a lot for being a great part of my YouTube family. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do want to get the template, go ahead and check it in the description down below. So I just want to say thanks a lot, YouTube. Appreciate y'all now. Peace.